Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Work Code and Gaurav, and in this video we are continuing with our DSA part, and as I promised we will be doing the top 150 interview question. So this question is one of them. Question number is 149 and the question is about finding the maximum point online. The difficulty of the question is hard, but don't panic, we will do this question in a very simple way. So let me first show you where you can find the question, and then we will see what the question is. So when you come back to this top LeetCode top 150 interview questions, you can scroll down to this math section. Okay, there is a math section, and there we will find the 149 question of finding the maximum point on a line. So see, here it is the math section. There is many questions, palindrome, and then square root. So we are going to do the hard level question today. Okay, I will just show you how to think in the interview, how to tackle the question if you don't know. Okay, and how to come up with the easiest solution as early as possible. Okay, so when you click, you go to this maximum point on line, you will come to this question hashtag 149. So the question is finding the maximum point on a line. Okay, so it is given that, okay, so it is asking the companies. I know the companies are Google and Amazon, like that, so doesn't matter, it is asked, so we will do this, and it is in top 150 interview question. So given an array of points where points is this. Okay, we don't care, point is x, y, we all know, we are mathematics students, and if not, then also we know that points we have x1, y1, xy coordinates, and they are on the xy plane. Okay, so we have to return the maximum number of point on the lie on the same straight line. That means we have to calculate that on which line, okay, the maximum point lies. Okay, it might be possible that there are 2 to 3 lines, but we have to find that on which line maximum point lies. Okay, so pay close attention to this. We have to find the maximum number of point. Okay, so yeah, we have this point. As you can see here, the graph. So in order to find the point, we have to first think about how to find the number of points on a line. So the first thing which comes to my mind is slope. Okay, find the slope. So if the slope are same, that means that point lie on the same line. Okay, so let's just see how to think about it. Okay, so let me get back to my iPad. Okay, yeah, so starting with this. Okay, don't worry, we are going to see this in a very simple way. So first thing first, what we have to find. So the first thing which comes to my mind is we will calculate slope. Okay, something like something like this. I will say something like this, that calculate, we will find the slope, then we have to find the slope, we have to keep the count of the slope now. Okay, then we will use a hash map. Okay, then we will use a hash map to store what we can store slope and its count, key value pair. Slope hash map is nothing but a key value pair. Okay, it's easy to deal with the hash map, and I personally like the hash map. Okay, starting with the next part. So we calculate slope and we store the value in the hash map, and after that we compare and find maximum count, and then we return it. So it's easier to write. Okay, then the coding part. Okay, so let's see the pseudocodes. What we can see the pseudocodes. Yeah, that's code snippet. Okay, so I will show you how you can tackle this problem. So we first take the example. Okay, see here the example is something like it is given in the question. You can see 1 1 2 2 and 3 3. So I will say 1 1, then it is 2 2, then it is 3 3. Done. Okay, done. So I think you can see it. Now what I will do, in order to find the slope, okay, let me just show you the rough part. Okay, the rough part, what I'm trying to say. See, what is the rough part? We have to find slope. Okay, so let's see, here is my point 1 x1 y1, here it is my point 2 x2 y2. The slope is or we simply say small m in mathematics, we say y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This is the mathematics part. Okay, so we know the formula of slope. This is important, mark it, this is important, because without this we cannot find the slope. Okay, this is important. Now starting with the rough part. So we have found the slope, then we have to store it, that we don't have to calculate. So you guys understand this formula. Okay, and one more thing, condition here, pay attention. Condition when, if my x2 will equal to x1, if my x2 will become equal to x1, yani ki, what I mean is, if my x1 or x2 are equal, then the slope here, pay attention, then the slope will be something divided by 0, because something divided by 0, so the denominator will become 0. See, then the slope will be x2 minus x1 will become 0. That's why I'm saying okay, I'm saying this. Okay, when the slope will when the slope will be this, when condition will be this, my slope will become not defined, or you can simply say infinity. Easily understood, because anything, we can say anything divided by 0 is not defined. Okay, cool. Now coming back to the coding part. So what we have to do, see, we will use, so see, in order to find slope x1 y1 y2 x2 y2, we need 2 points. So I will use I and j for that. Okay, I will use for I something equal to starting from 0, I less than length anything, and I plus plus. It's easily understood. This is for the point 1. Okay, so I can write it here for you guys. This is for point 1. Okay, now so we have to find now the second point, because we need 2 points to find the slope. So here it is, for j is equal to 0, j less than again the length. Okay, j plus plus, we are starting with the second point. Now the second point is inside this for loop. Okay, I'm just writing the snippet. Okay, so we have outer loop for point 1, then we have this for point 2. Okay, then we have this for point 2, and now what? Okay, I will now I have to calculate the slope. So I see here. Okay, see, you guys can see pretty closely from here. Okay, when I'm at this point, I don't need to find the slope. I don't need to find the slope for this point when the pointer same. See, my I is starting from 0 and my j is also starting from 0 index value. So when the pointer same, we can say that don't calculate the slope, move ahead. Okay, so for that we will say that if my I equal to j, then nothing, continue, do nothing, continue. Cool. And then we will calculate the slope. If this is not a condition, we will calculate the slope. So here comes the else condition. We will calculate slope, something you can say slope. I can say slope is equal to anything. Slope is equal to anything can be calculate. I will use the helper function calculate slope, and I will pass the 2 points, because we need 2 points. Like now we need 2 points. So we are passing the point 1, point 2 to find the slope, and I will use this helper function. I will use this helper function to calculate the slope, because if I write this code here now, it will become very complex to understand. Okay, so starting with again, so we have found the slope. After finding slope, what we have to do? We have to keep it somewhere. So for that I'm using a hash map. See, for that I'm using a hash map, and I will store the value here. I will give it a name map and something new hash map, something whatever it is. Okay, I then store the value, and so hash map is a key value pair. Okay, so what I'm going to store here, see, hash map. For hash map, it is key value pair. So in key I'm going to store slope, and in value I'm going to store the count of the slope. Make sense? Very good. Next, move ahead. So we have found the slope. We have found the slope. We have hash map initialized empty. So I'm going to put the value in the map. I will put the value in the map. Okay, I will put the value in the map, and then after that yeah, so how to put the value in the map? The next question is how to put it. So I will write something like this. Put slope, comma, I will use something map. I will use the get or default method. Get or you guys can see here, get or default method, and I will pass the slope here 0 plus 1, because by default it will give 0, but we know that my map is empty, so we have to increase it by 1 when the first iteration will happen. Okay, so in this you can see I took this for outer loop, and outer loop you can say for the first point, and this is for the second point. Okay, so my first point, when I'm starting from 0, I'm calculating the slope with these 2 points. Okay, and then when I'm starting from this, I'm calculating slope with this point and this point, and when I'm starting with I is equal to 2, then I'm calculating the index from I'm calculating the slope from this point and this point. Okay, make sense? Yeah, pretty simple. After that, when I found the slope now, okay, so moving ahead, let's just write the, okay, yeah, I have found the slope. Then after that we have to keep the count of it. Okay, I have to keep the count of it. So I can say simply like this, no? I can say, yeah, let's say int current max point is 0. Okay, and we will take out the so what I'm thinking, we will take out the maximum from the map, and then we have left this point. See, we have left this one point in calculating the slope, but this point will be counted in the line. Okay, this point will be counted in the line because this point is there. We have only left it because these are same and we don't want to calculate the slope for the same point, okay, because same point are same. There is no need to calculate slope and check that slope is equal or not, okay. So that's why I'm going to define here a new variable. I will say, let's say it's to be max point is equal to 0, okay. After that, what we will do, we will come back here. As you can see, I have initialized a variable current max value to keep the count, okay, to take out the count from the map. So I will say, I will use enhanced for loop for int count, okay. We know that the map has now count of the slopes. To count invert map dot values, we have added the slope in the values, okay. See here, as you can see here, we have added the slope count in the values, okay, in the values, key value pair, okay, makes sense. So we are iterating over the map values, okay, and this one is giving, see, and this one is giving this one is giving me the collection of slopes. So I will say I will simply use current max is equal to math.max. I will use math.max function to calculate the maximum point from here. Now after that, I will say, okay, we have to add those plus point here, which we have left. So we will say something like this. Yeah, the variable was max point, so I will update the value of max point. I will say max point will be equal to math.max, okay, and then we will pass the value, okay. After passing the value, we will get the maximum point, and we will simply come here and I will return the maximum point. Done. But wait, we have to define this, okay. We have to define this calculate slope method, okay. So we come back. I will use black marker for that. I will say simply slopes will be type double calculate. I will say something double calculate slope, okay, makes sense. I will pass the array because the point is in array, okay. I will pass it to array. Then I will say, let's say it to be 0.1, it to be 0.2. I will say key if my p1 0 equal to my p2 0, that is x2 minus x1, that condition one, that when the denominator was becoming 0, okay. You can see here see here, when this part, that x2 minus x1, okay, if it becomes equal, then the slope was becoming non-defined, okay. We have to tackle, we have to we have to see for this situation. We will say equal to 0, then return what I can say infinity, anything, return infinity, okay. And if not, then return what? Slope. I can say, okay, I will typecast it to the double, and then I will say slope y2 minus y1. The y2 is p2 1 minus p1 1 slash p2 0 x2 minus p2 p1 0. As simple as that. So we have found the slope. If this condition is there, that x2 minus x1 equal to 0, then it will become infinity, okay, infinity. It will become infinity, and if not, then it will simply return the slope. That slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. I just wrote it in the array form, okay, the coding form. So coming back to the question, as you can see, now we are done with the question and we can simply code it, okay. So just to summarize, we have used this for the outer loop, or you can say the point 1. This for loop is for point 2 because we need 2 point to calculate the slope. We use the hash map to store our slope and its count, okay. And then we said that if the point is same, move ahead, don't do anything. And then if it is not, then calculate the slope and put it in the map, okay. After that, we are just taking out the maximum point. Makes sense? I use this to find the maximum point out of the slope, okay, to find the maximum point out of the slope. Then after finding the maximum point out of the slope, I am using this max point method to add this one point which we have left, and then we are using this helper. This is nothing but a helper function which we are using to calculate the slope value, and it is for making our life easier, okay. Because if I place this code here now, then it will become very much complex or convoluted, okay. You can say convoluted, and you guys may not be able to understand, and it's not a best practice for the interview part also. So we have to prepare for the interview. So this is the nice and cleaner coding which you can write, okay. And one more point, as you guys have if you guys are having doubt, see, if you guys can come back to this constraint part now, you will see that here it is given all the points are unique. So that's why if it is given that all points are unique, that means this point, okay, that means, let me bring back my iPad. See, this point, these all are unique, okay. They cannot be duplicate, and that's why I have simply used this method. I have not considered the fact if the duplicates are present, because it is given that duplicates are not present. And if there are duplicates present, then we have to also consider those points also. Okay, if there are duplicates present, then we have to count that also. We will simply say that duplicate plus plus, and we will go ahead. Okay, that doesn't matter now. What I wanted to show you guys now, it is present in the question that there is no duplicates. That's why I haven't considered the question that I haven't considered the condition that there are duplicates or not. Make sense? Now let's get back to the coding part. So we all know that these values are unique. So let me first start by creating a outer loop. Okay, so I will say for, let's see, I will go step by step. I will say for int I is equal to 0, then I have something called I less than, okay, I less than what, points dot length I plus plus. Okay, so my speed is slow because when I'm sharing my screen now, when I'm recording this, it usually gets slow, my Mac. Okay, it get heated up, so don't mind it. So this is outer loop for the first point. I will use the loop for the second point also. So let's just initialize for the second point. And j is equal to 0, same keys, j less than, sorry, not capital J less than points dot length. So it's points dot length j plus plus. Okay, you guys know what this is about. This is for the inner loop. Okay, for the second point. So I said that when if my I equal to z, continue, skip, don't do anything, continue, wait. But first we have to initialize the hash map to store the value. Yeah, so hash map double, you know why it is double, no need to explain it again, integer. Then I will give it a name map, new hash map. It's quite pain in the ass to initialize the hash map now, because we have to write so much brackets. It's pain in the ass for me. I don't know about you guys. So yeah, we are done with the hash map part, and then we have started with the second point. We skipped the point where we don't want to calculate the slope, and if this is not the case, we have to calculate the slope. Else condition, what is that? That is double slope. We have to calculate the slope. Double slope is equal to what? The helper function. Okay, let's just keep it simple. Calculate slope. I don't want you guys to be confused, so the helper function is calculate slope, and the point I'm going to give it is points ing. Those are my 2 points. Simple as that. Very clear. My points are ing, and here I calculated the slope. Okay, I have to define this function. I have to define this helper function. Okay, yeah. After finding the slope, what we have to do? We have to put it in the where map. To map dot put hash map. We say map dot put what? We have to put the slope, and what map we have to get the values. So map dot get. I will use the method get or default here. Get or default. I think I have. Yeah, I think I wrote it correct. Okay. Get a default what? Slope. Default values of what? Slope. The initial values would be 0, and I will increment it by 1 because there is nothing present in there. And yeah, quite done with the implementation part. So after this now, we have to count the maximum slope. So first, before counting that, first define this slope. So I will come out of this loop. I will say public double calculate slope, and I will pass to array. Let's say array to be p1 and second array to be p2, that point p1 and p2, just to make it very clear and simple. What I will say, I will check if the condition for the infinite condition. Okay, if my condition what? If my denominator is 0, that means when x2 minus x1 equal to 0, that means my x2 minus x1, that is x2 and x1 equal becomes 0. That is my p2 0, that is my x2 equal to p1 0. Okay, cool. Then what to do? We have to return what? So now it is infinite. Okay, not defined. So we will say the constant part of the constant method given by the double class. We will say double. Okay, I think I have typo there also. Double dot. What is it? As far as I remember, that is positive underscore infinity. Okay, do check it out. It is a constant method, okay, given by the double class. As you guys are aware of the I know you guys are aware of this integer.max value. Okay, the max value is the method given by the integer class. Okay, that is to the maximum value. Here, same with this, but it is given by the double class. Simple. Okay, after that we are done with this. We will come to the else part. If not this, what else? Else we will return the slope. And how to calculate the slope? I already told you, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what is my y2? That will be my p2 1. Okay, keep make a bracket here. Okay, yeah, bracket p2 minus, okay, minus p2, sorry, not p2, p1 1. Yani y2 minus y1 done. Close the bracket. Divide by what? Divide by what? I will say bracket p2 0, p2 0, and then p2 0, and then p2 not p2, p1 0. Okay, you got the point. This is my, if you guys will see clearly, this is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Got it? But the problem is, it can be an integer, but we have to pass the double. Okay, so we will just typecast it double. Simple, nothing much, as simple as that. Okay, so coming back to here, we have calculated this, the map. We will come out of this for loop, this our inner for loop. Okay, and I will simply say, I will come out of this for loop. Okay, yeah, do I have to come out of this for loop? Let's just see. I will have to return the value here. Okay, yeah, I will return the max point. I will return the max point here, because I know that at last we have to return the max point, and it is an integer. So I will just define it here. What is the max point? I will just initialize it into max points is equal to 0. I told you why I am doing that, to keep the count, keep the track of the count. Okay, so I will come out of this else loop. Yeah, what else? I will come out of this for loop, because we have calculated the this inner loop will go until the loop is valid, and it will update the value inside this hash map. Okay, and why we are taking this hash map inside this for loop? Because we want to update the hash map for every point, because we want to update the hash map for the every point. Okay, so I think I have made some mistake. I think it should be hash map. Okay, so the hash map, yeah, that's okay, that's good. I will come out of this inner loop, and I will say simple int current. I will calculate the current max value, that I will initialize it with 0, and after that I will use an enhanced for loop. Let's say int count, and I will say, okay, if this is count, in which collection are we, in which data type are we iterating? We will iterate over the collection. You remember that map dot values. We will say map dot values and this. So this will give me collection of count of slope. Okay, and we only care about the count. We don't care about what this collection is. What is it, array list or list or something? I don't know. Okay, we just have to iterate over it using the enhanced for loop. I will just iterate, and we will keep the track of the maximum count. So if this is the value, I will say that I will update the value of maximum count. I will check that which one is bigger. Map.max. I will say current max, comma what count. It will give me which one is maximum. Simple as that. But we have left that one point. See here, we have left this one point, this I is equal to 0. Continue. So we have to calculate this also. We got the maximum point. We got the maximum count of slope the hash map has. Okay, so it can be anything. I don't know. But just we have to get it out of the map. So after getting it out of the map using this this for loop, enhanced for loop, and this map dot values, I will say what? I will update the value of max point. We have max point to be I will say math dot max what? Math dot max will be max point max points, comma what? The current max point, this one, the current max point, and I will say +1, because we have left that point at I equal to z. Okay, if these are the case, it will calculate which point is max, and we will do this. So okay, so I think we are done. Okay, accepted. Okay, so sir, okay, let's submit it. I think it should be submitted. Oh yeah, it got submitted, and as you can see, pretty good, 90 pages. So that's all. That was all. You guys can see here again what was the question and how we tackled it, and I will also give my link to the GitHub profile. You can get the code from there, okay? And do check out my other links also. I will provide the link in the description. Please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you.